Hi everyone, Idle here. This is a low-end guide on Arknights SSS Yumen Market for the Secret Medal. If you're a new player who wants to start getting the mats ASAP after unlocking SSS, or if you're an intermediate player who just wants a consistent strat to beat SSS with, this guide is for you. The strat here is specifically used for its consistency while having the least resources invested possible. Of course, to even unlock SSS, you'd have to have an already E2 unit, so while I myself am using the least that I can, so that the guide actually applies to everyone, you yourself should have more leeway since you have access to stronger units. So think of that accordingly when you accommodate this strategy for your own roster. And with that, without further ado, let's head on over to the actual setup. So first and foremost, the directional ease unit, we just want Cloud Stepper. It's basically the best out of the bunch, and also there's a quest for this, so yeah, we're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. For the tactical equipment configuration, we just want A on everything. And for the plan here, preferred plan is generally better since it when the game gives you a chance to add units to your team. Preferred plan, as it says, frequently used operators will be prioritized. However, if you're a new player who doesn't have much in terms of raised units, the free plan might be better because this sometimes gives you the option to add the Rhodes Island elite operators. For example, Storm Eye, Sharp, Tulip, those guys basically and they're given at E2, so sometimes it might give you a really strong unit that you might not otherwise have access to. So keep that in mind if you're a new player, that this may be something that you can consider. But generally speaking, preferred plan is better. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We just want to go with A. I'll go with free plan just for the sake of example. And this is pretty much the team composition that we will be going with. Figure this out, and first and foremost, we want our vanguards. For the vanguards, we want Yato, Fang, Plume, Vanilla, and Courier.
I'm ready.
After this, we want our star of the show, Goldenglow.
Is there really a use for me on the front?
Yup. After this, we want our suite of equipment, which are going to be the cheap snipers and casters. So these are Rangers, Adnakil, and Kroos.
My turn, is it?
Leave it to me.
After this, we want our casters, Durin and Steward.
Is there really a use for me on the front?
Rangers and Arknights, well, these guys are basically just being used for their equipment, right? For the sake of the game mode. If you have access to Justice Knight and Terror Research Commission, these two are better than Rangers and or Adnakil for the sake of the strategy. So if you have these, feel free to replace them. After this, we just want a medic, and the best, pretty much cheapest one is Ansel. If you have Hibiscus instead, it doesn't really matter. A medic is a medic. Oh, either of which will be good. After this, we want Spot. Basically a blocker that's tanky and heals. Basically does pretty much everything we'd want. And after this, we just want to add, you go to supporter, you sort by deployment cost, and you add the cheapest supporters that you have on your roster. If you have U Official and Fonor, these are pretty much the best for the sake of this strategy. However, I won't be using them because not everyone will have them, and they're really, really cheap. So I might actually affect the run a little bit. So for the sake of, I don't know, making this apply to everyone, I won't use them. I'll just instead go with these guys. My Heidi and Civilite Eterna and Scald are raised, so I also won't be using them. I'm just going to pick the ones that I don't have raised. You yourself, however, should be using the supporters that you are the cheapest supporters in your own roster. That's I lost my mind there. Okay.
Leave the scouting to me.
And the idea for this strategy is pretty much this. You want to build full stacks Goldenglow as soon as possible, as fast as possible actually. Goldenglow alone will be sufficient DPS to get through every map in this game mode on normal difficulty. Ideally, you want to be borrowing the Goldenglow as a support unit, so she's maxed out with S3, M3, full level, full mod, possibly full potential as well, considering mine's full pot, but yeah. The pots won't matter, of course. If you don't have one, you can try asking in the Arknights Reddit or the various Arknights Discord, for example, Arknights Official. You can go to those places, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it for Goldenglow. And yeah, the biggest problem that players have with SSS is inconsistency. Sometimes I see people complain that they just don't find the units that they need, which is why they struggle. However, this strategy pretty much gets around this big problem. Spamming supporters lets us avoid this big problem by giving us a way to just brute force draw through our deck. By deploying supporters, what happens is it basically gives us the resources to actually draw. And this allows us to make sure that we always find and build a stack for Goldenglow every single time as fast as possible. Think of the game mode as basically a card game, right? And all the supporters are basically just pots of greed. Our strat is basically to build a boss monster that is Goldenglow. And our supporters enable us to have the card draw to make that happen. And the materials for this boss monster are the snipers and the casters. The vanguards are, of course, how we pay for all the deploying that we are going to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can upgrade the strategy by having stronger vanguards. You can also replace like Kroos or Steward with a strong 6-star ranged unit that you have for yourself so that they can also function as a second carry behind Goldenglow. For example, if you have Walter or Logos or I don't know, Tefon, who else can I think of? Aya, stuff like that. You can reuse those units instead of Steward or Kroos. You can also use strong ground units such as Dragonbreaker. Who else can I think? Shu, I guess. Jessica Alter, Jessica 2, right? Jessica the Liberated. I think that's the official name. Instead of Spot. Basically, Spot is going to be taking advantage of the SP generation that comes from this stack of Vanguards. Since, let's read this. Yeah, the Vanguard equipment basically provides SP generation. Any strong unit that thrives off spamming skills is also going to take advantage of this very well. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. Let's then head on over to the first stage. And this is the setup. Oh, make sure that you have skill 1 on Courier and skill 3 on Goldenglow. And let's head on over first to the first stage. Of course, note that you won't be able to follow my plays one-to-one because of the game modes RNG. So, I'll be explaining the idea of how to play, but you yourself will have to adapt to your own game state, right? And of course, the pre-operation adjustment. The pattern for this, or the mulligan as most card game players know it, is, well, for this one, we just want to make sure that we have as much vanguards as possible. And we want, if we don't have every vanguard, we basically just dump every non-vanguard we have, or as much as the cap, basically. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't dump Vanilla because she's a vanguard. I dumped Steward and these 3 guys because they are not vanguards. Math is math, of course.
Oh, it's even harder.
Alright, if the most expensive unit you have is Goldenglow on your mulligan, you want to keep Goldenglow, so you don't dump her when Goldenglow is in the mulligan. We want to keep her, basically. So deploy your Vanguard here. Specifically on the spot, by the way, it kind of matters.
Got it.
And we just stack our Vanguards on top of each other. Next, we want to build our Goldenglow stack on this position.
Got it.
Your words you shall not pass.
Make sure to activate your Vanguard skills.
What a pain. I'm listening.
At around the 4 to 5 equipment mark, we want to deploy our Goldenglow on our Goldenglow stack. So, what I mean by the 4 to 5 like it's 2+1, right? This is what it says, right? When I do this, it basically becomes 3-1 because Kroos herself counts as an equipment when I relieve her with Goldenglow in this position. So when it's going to be 4 or 5, we want to deploy our Goldenglow at that time.
Now's the time to. This halberd isn't just for show.
And why we're doing this at 4 to 5 and not at cap is because of the specific mechanic of this Cloud Stepper here. I'll show you later when I have a unit that actually works with it right now.
Forwards.
At the moment, I don't have any. Meanwhile, you want to exhaust your unit limit with your supporters if we don't have any other play. So we do this, we find by doing this we get the resources to draw. We don't have anything else to do right now. We then just we deploy exhaust the unit limit again.
Impurity.
I also face them in this specific way just so that they can actually help DPS this big pile of enemies here.
Stay back.
Yeah, we just exhaust the unit limit.
Follow the currents.
Treasures always.
Once the unit limit is exhausted, you deploy the supporters on top of each other. Okay, so now I'm going to show you this. Okay, I can't deploy the Steward right now, so I'll have to remove one of those supporters. Doesn't really matter. They don't really matter, right? So yeah, now I'm going to do this.
Understood.
And this is the specific mechanic of the Cloud Stepper. As it reads, we basically the operator in front of the operator that we choose gets +1 of the operators of the operator that we use it on. That it gets equipment, right? It's better if I show you in practice, right? So if I use this on Steward right now,
Times are tense.
Goldenglow is a 3 sniper 1 caster. If I use this on Steward right now,
Can I really?
Goldenglow then gets a caster equipment because Steward is a caster and he is facing on towards Goldenglow.
What is it you are?
And that's pretty much it, really.
Can I?
You just want to activate then the Goldenglow skill whenever it's up.
Speeding up.
I will not bring shame to Blacksteel.
Speeding up.
After the first stage, we're going to have the opportunity to add operators onto our team. From this, okay, think of it like this. From the very beginning of, from the very start, we already have everyone that we would ever need to actually win the game mode. The idea now here is we want to add units that won't screw up our strategy too much. So basically the ones that'll do the least damage possible, the ones that won't dilute our deck the most. So basically we're going to pick the units that are the most in line with our strategy. For this sake, we want to prioritize supporters. Supporters are basically card draw engines, right? So they basically cycle themselves out. They basically don't really do any harm to your deck. So if you have the option to add a supporter to your team, you do that. If there's no supporter option, you then choose a sniper or a caster. Snipers or casters are, well, they're equipment for Goldenglow, right? They're additional pieces that make building Goldenglow faster, so they also kind of work within the strategy. If somehow there's no supporter, caster, there's no support. If there's no supporter, caster, sniper, you can then choose a vanguard, but I doubt that's gonna happen to you really. So yeah, pretty much following what I said, we want to add a sniper here. Of course, if the game gives you the option to not add an operator to your team, we always take that, always, because this is pretty much the best option that you can have. Again, as mentioned, we already have everyone that we would ever need to actually beat this game mode. Not adding anyone is the best option because it doesn't actually affect our draws, or it doesn't make our draws worse, basically. And this is pretty much the team. My cold shot isn't even raised, by the way. I just chose her because she's a sniper. And then let's head it over. For this specific stage well. First, let's deal with this with the mulligan. Again, we just want to make sure we have as much vanguards as possible, so we dump the most expensive units that aren't vanguards. So yeah, this, goodbye.
Team, check your gear before departing.
And then you deploy all the vanguards that you have on your hand.
Leave it to us. Understood.
Now we want to deploy our Goldenglow stack on this tile facing right side.
I'm listening.
All right. How's that?
Make sure that you're also exhausting your sporters
Just need a minute.
so that they can help
Treasures
DPS.
always lead.
Okay, I'll do it.
That seems to be a good enough number. It's 4.
Now's the time to help everyone out.
Now we're doing the same thing that we did earlier.
Got it.
Steward
orders.
behind Goldenglow. We use this on Steward.
How's that?
And 3 plus 3 1 3 2.
Really do it? I'm sorry. Stay back!
Make sure that you're using Goldenglow's skill as much as possible when it's up. And this map is basically won already, right?
Understood.
Ready
I'm
for Overwatch.
just going to be doing what you should be doing for the rest of the
Alright
stages,
then.
basically.
Down you go.
Relax, I'm almost done.
Handle the camera. What a pain. I'm listening. Here I am.
Got it.
I come behind.
You better run away soon.
Wait, please.
I will follow yours.
Is it my turn? Yes, I can handle this.
Mission accomplished.
And that's pretty much the second stage. Again, you just want to make sure you have vanguards. We don't have vanguards on our opening hand. That's kind of sketchy. It is what it is, though. We dump our most expensive units that aren't Goldenglow.
I've got this. I've got
Van
this.
Vanguard
I can do this.
received,
Leave it to
and that's
us.
good.
Forwards.
For this map, we want to build our Goldenglow tower on this spot facing right side.
right.
You didn't get it. What a pain. I won't sleep on the. There you are. Now's the time to help everyone out. Precision equipment isn't cheap. I'm stuck.
We want to be building our second tower pretty much always behind Goldenglow, right? So that we can take advantage of the Cloud Stepper.
You better
Again,
run away soon.
3-1. Use this on Steward. Steward's a sniper. 4-1.
Really do it? It's time to teach these rascals a lesson.
Speeding up.
Please, there are more important things to do.
I deployed
than
Ansel
play.
here, so we have this tile free, right?
Go
So we can keep
on,
using the
I'm
Cloud Stepper.
listening. Impurity be purged.
Got a clear view here.
Understood.
Open plans.
They'll pay for what they've done.
Well, that guy died. Okay, so after every boss on the third stage, you'll get after killing a boss. If you somehow don't kill the boss, I'm pretty sure you don't get access to these, but that shouldn't happen. Okay, so after killing a boss, you'll have that chance to add assignment EC units onto your setup. As much as possible, you want to prioritize Equipment Activation Valve. Equipment Activation Valve is basically the best one. It makes building your Goldenglow tower so much faster. If you don't have access to Equipment Activation Valve, you want to prioritize Recuperation Activation. Recuperation. I'll show. It should be showing on the screen right now when I edit it. You want to be picking that one because it's basically card draw that's it recycles stuff in your graveyard, so it's more controllable, and it basically lets you recycle units for various things. For example, it lets you recycle vanguards, it lets you recycle snipers or casters, stuff like that. It also lets you recycle sporters, so you can generate more card draw. And if you don't have access to recuperation or equipment activation, you should be picking Preparation. Preparation is pretty much the same thing as Recuperation, except it draws from the deck. Preparation is just worse than Recuperation because Recuperation is much more controllable than Preparation. That's pretty much it. The other options you shouldn't be picking ever, and you'll always have one of these three at the very least, since there's only 5 of them total. 5 of these kinds, 5 of these stuff. So for this case, I want Equipment Activation Valve. What this does is, if it basically gives 2 of the equipment of the same class that of the unit that I'm using it on. So for example, Steward, Caster, no Caster equipment at the moment. I'll use this on him. He gets 2 Caster equipment because he's a caster. If I use it on a sniper, the sniper is going to get 2 sniper equipment. Pretty much, that's how it works, right?
Speeding up.
Got a clear view here.
I hope that was intuitive enough, right? Make sure you're activating GG skill.
Okay. I will follow your orders. How's that?
And these 2 are basically full built, right? So now I just want... Oh, get rid of you. For the sake of safety, you'll want to build
Understood. Got it.
a tower here and put spot in it.
Alright then.
Specifically
Doesn't matter
this
to me.
spot because I'm just so spot tanks aggro from the archers from a better spot instead of this, right? It's not like this spot's blocking. It's not like this lane's blocking anyone anyway, right? Every enemy that's coming from this line or this path is a floater, so it's not something that Spot's gonna block anyway. We just
Doesn't
want
matter to
Spot
me.
taking aggro.
How's that?
Injections ready. Prepare for battle.
If this happens where the boss shows up while Goldenglow's skill isn't up, don't fret, the SP generation is always going to be enough. And she's always going to kill it in 1 round. Or kill the boss in 1 round. Again, equipment activation, recuperation, or preparation. We have equipment activation here. This is the biggest high roll we can get in terms of assignment EC units.
Doesn't matter to me.
I have no one to use it on. I guess I'll just use it on the
Doesn't matter
defender.
to me.
Just so
Whatever you say.
he gets like additional block
Whatever
for
you
no
say.
one. But more importantly, additional death.
Speeding up.
Can I skip?
I will follow you. Ha! Ha!
Mission accomplished.
I think we did all right.
That's pretty much it for the 3rd stage. Okay. 4th stage. After the 3rd stage, you'll get an option between 2 upgrades for the Cloud Stepper. We just want this one. JK, we want this one. I forgot it was on the left side. Okay, you just want this one since it's basically a better upgrade for our Goldenglow. It basically lets her have 8 tactical equipment, and since we're basically relying on 1 unit, having that 1 unit be as strong as possible is pretty good, so... Okay, so again, we just want to have as much vanguards as possible, and we are not dumping Goldenglow, so I dump this. Well, we're keeping this, by the way. The equipment activation valve.
Got it.
No vanguards! It is what it is. We're just going to spam deploy supporters and
Treasures
card draw
always lead
till we
to
get one.
conflict.
Oh, we got.
Understood.
We then build our Goldenglow tower on this spot, facing upwards. Well, the units will.
I'm listening.
Got it. Here.
Yato dying here doesn't matter, by the way. Don't fret.
I'm waiting for orders.
It's just Yato, it doesn't really actually matter. I'm going to deploy Goldenglow facing left side.
Now's the time to help everyone out.
And I'm going to use this equipment activation valve on her, so she gets 2 caster equipment. And then
The distance. There!
goodbye. Okay, and that's pretty much the map 1. By the way, make sure you actually do build the Vanguard stack. here. Yeah, there. And you also want to build your second unit or second DPS
Got it.
unit on this spot, just so we can do the thing. It is.
Oh. Can I really do it?
3-4 is insane, by the way.
The distance. There!
Got clear view here. Hope they don't got the same. First take off is ready. Who do you want me to target?
Everyone, follow me! What a pain.
You better run away soon.
Down. Impurity be purged. Handle the camera. Time to teach these rascals a lesson.
Everyone, follow me.
Say something. It would be sad if you send me to that. I'm just gonna wait, please.
Everyone, follow me.
I'm just gonna...
Everyone, follow me. Everyone, follow me.
Who is starting the fights? Oh, look at you. Looking all over you.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
pretty
the
much
doctor's
the
order.
fourth stage.
Thanks
It's
to this.
honestly the easiest we've had so far, given what just happened. Again, you just want to make sure you have as much vanguards as you can. So dump every expensive non-vanguard you have except the equipment.
It's time to go. Are you ready?
Okay, so for this map, you want, or we want to build our tower on this spot,
Ready for Overwatch.
and we want to build our GG tower on this spot facing left side.
Sleep on the job.
All right.
You better run away soon. I will follow your orders.
I just realized I actually have 7 equipment already. I'm gonna
I'll do my best. I'm so tense.
3, 5, 7. Yep, that's balanced.
Please!
We then want to build our second tower on this spot facing upwards so that the second tower can actually boost Goldenglow. And also because it kind of matters for holding this lane.
Handle the camera. Okay.
Pressures always lead to conflict.
I'm on the scene. Before the currents. What a pain. Stumble. Take that! There's enemies.
Understood.
Can I come with me, please?
And we want to deploy our Ansel on this spot facing
Please hold on.
downwards. And we'll deploy a support here. Yes, why not? Again, we want to exhaust our unit limit. I'm just not doing it because it doesn't really matter.
I'm just gonna with me, please.
Got clear view here.
Oh, what a pain.
But yeah, the general positioning is you want Vanguard tower here, GG tower here facing left side, second tower here facing upward, medic facing downward in this spot. And you'll see why the medic is in this spot in a bit, and why we have a supporter there. These two are basically going to be the blockers for the shadow guards that come from here.
Right then.
Can I please get back? Come on. Lift it up. I'm tense. I'm just gonna with me, please. Did you hop in?
Welcome. I've been waiting. The map is over this.
First take off clear.
I'm just gonna distance. There!
That's level 1 by the way.
我收到。
And that's pretty much it for the 5th stage. And this stage it looks kind of spooky, right? It's not actually kind of that spooky, but if you're playing this blind, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't know what to do either. Just like me when I first tried this. Anyway, you know what, we want to make sure we have as much vanguards as we can rather. So, goodbye.
Got this. I've got this. I can do this.
And really, we don't need our vanguard to block anyone. We just don't want to. We're just gonna put the Vanguard here.
Understood. Ready for Overwatch.
Understood.
And then we're going to be building our GG tower on this spot facing left
You
side.
better run away soon.
And this is because pretty much every enemy that's coming from these red boxes are pretty much just wraiths, right? The guys that can't be blocked. So they actually won't be hitting the GG on this spot. So the GG is pretty much safe. That's what I'm saying here.
Okay, I'll do it.
I just want one sniper before I actually put my GG there.
Scumble.
Hello, where are my snipers?
Time to teach these rascals a lesson.
Relax, I'm almost done reloading.
GG. It's time for you
Now's the
to
time
do your
help
job.
everyone out.
This is why equipment activation valve is great, by the way. You can also just use it on your GG in this case. So you can deploy so you can deploy GG faster, and yeah, he's going to then be mopping up everything while we build our second DPS unit behind GG. Use your equipment activation valve if you have more on
I'm so
her.
tense. I'm so tense.
Yeah, she's basically gonna have S3 up pretty much every single time, every waking moment.
I'm listening.
Treasures always lead to conflict.
Honestly, those coins don't really matter that much because you're
Please.
just invalidating the mechanics of this map anyway with GG. So yeah.
Yeah. Insurrection.
Basically just use Goldenglow skill when it's up, and it's going to be up pretty much every time if it's set up like this. Goodbye, boss. Oh, yeah,
You
goodbye.
offer nothing more?
Pretty much all you have to do now is the raids, rather.
Soul be cleansed. Handle the carrot. I'm listening. Here I come.
No, none of the raids are gonna leak, by the way. And even if they get to like here or here, don't worry because the raids do a loop, right? Yeah, like let's watch this guy. Oop, he turns.
Can I go the distance?
They have to make a loop first before actually
There
getting
you
to the blue
are.
box. So don't worry if they get too far.
Let's take it slow. Take it.
Left, be behind him. Mission accomplished.
Awesome! A smashing victory! Texas,
Yep.
did you see how I sparkled on the stage?
And that's pretty much it for this SSS. Yeah, that's the whatchamacallit. That's a secret medal right there, that one that just popped up. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this SSS Tower Yumen Market. If you like this kind of content, feel free to like and sub. I'll also be posting a similar guide for the other SSS towers, so stay tuned for that. Again, that's pretty much it. This is Idol. Thanks for watching.